we're going to try something different. We are going live. It's Saturday afternoon here. My name is Alex. I am the founder of Hostage Tape. We're streaming live on Instagram. We are streaming live on Facebook, on Twitter, X, and we are live on YouTube. Again, we're trying something different here. We're trying to do a little bit more live streaming, connecting with our audiences. We've been going live every day this week. We've been really going live in the evenings, but now I'm going to try going live like in the afternoons here. We'll see how this goes. So again, my name is Alex. I am the founder of Hostage Tape. We are the largest mouth tape brand in the world, everybody. We have over 100,000 users all over the world. In fact, this is our Shopify award that we got. So every time you hit past a certain milestone, they give you an award. And this is actually from over a year ago. We had over 100,000 orders, and this was a year ago. So we've blown way past this, okay? But we've got over 100,000 users who wear Hostage Tape every night. All right, somebody said, thank you for posting my videos, bro. This is an amazing project. Hostage Tape is amazing. It's life-changing for many people. It certainly changed my life. That's why I started the company. We're also the sleep aid partner of the UFC. I've got a great story about meeting Dana White during the Super Bowl. In fact, how about I tell that story? So, how I met Dana White and Hostage Tape became the official sleep aid partner of the UFC. Somebody asked, hello, the mouth tape is excellent, but for the nose, no. Well, how come? What kind of issues are you having with the nose strip? Because I'll say this. So a lot of people who use nose strips in general, maybe they've got issues with the adhesive sticking to the nose. And so one thing you got to make sure you do when you're in any nose strip, whether it's us or Breathe Right or whoever, you got to make sure you clean it, right? Clean the nose, get all the grease, get all the oil off the nose, dry it. And we actually came out with another product. It's our Hostage Hold Wipes. Okay. The Hostage Hold Wipe, what this is these guys right here. So these also help clean the nose, but then it adds a film, a layer of something on the skin that helps the adhesive on the strips stick. It's very similar to what doctors or nurses use when they're dressing wounds with things like that, right? So helps our nose strip stick using the Hostage Hold Wipe. So if you're somebody who you feel like you're really got a really greasy T-zone, really greasy skin, or maybe you're in a climate that's not so great, then go ahead and again, make sure your nose is clean and then use these to wipe and then make sure those nose strips stick really, really well. Somebody said, thank you, you changed my life. I love it. Again, I love hearing when people express how mouth taping has changed their life, because it changed my life. And that's why we started this company. In fact, that's one of the most common things people say. And you look at our reviews, people will say, using mouth tape changed my life. It was a life-changing experience. And for most people who mouth tape, you can't help but not just want to tell everybody about it, because it's such a simple thing. Mouth taping is so simple. It's so easy to do. It's non-invasive. And you do it, and then you realize how you've been sleeping wrong for so many years, and then you mouth tape, and now you feel amazing. And you're like, this is how I'm supposed to feel. This is absolutely how I'm supposed to feel when you wake up. So, all right, so somebody says, my 14-year-old boy loves the pink. Oh, my 14-year-old loves the pink tape. Okay, great. I misread that. Beautiful. Yeah, so we've got our black is our main hero tape that we started with, and then we introduced the pink tape. right here, we have the pink tape that we introduced this last year because, primarily, look, I founded this for men, and we purposely branded it for men because most of the people who have this issue are men, where most of us are middle-aged men who sleep with our mouths open. And so I purposely I pulled a Liquid Death, right? I loved what Liquid Death did with the branding. And so that's what I did. But then we realized that, you know what? There's a lot of women who are starting to use hostage tape, and there's a lot of women out there who want a mouth tape too. And so we came up with the pink one. And we picked a very particular shade of pink that you can't get anywhere else. It's a very elegant, nice pink that looks great, and the women love it. So let me tell the Dana White story and how we became the official sleep aid of the UFC. So it was around the Super Bowl of last year, and the UFC reached out to my head of partnerships and said, hey, we're really interested in having you guys be the partner with Power Slap. And if you guys have seen Power Slap or not seen it, that's where two people stand in front of each other and then they slap the shit out of each other. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. So when you see it in person, it's even crazier because you can hear and feel the slaps, and it's wild. So when they reached out, I immediately thought, like, okay, this is something we have to pursue. Even though I was never a UFC fan, I was not a fighter, wasn't into martial arts. As you can see behind me, I was a football player. I was a stick and ball guy, right? I loved playing football, baseball, golf, those kind of things. And I wasn't into martial arts. In fact, when I was a kid, I was in karate, and I got a big old scar underneath my jaw here because it was raining one day in the dojo, and there was a leak in the roof, and they had a bucket, one of those big PVC buckets like you see at Home Depot, and it was sitting there, and it was catching all the water that was falling from the ceiling. And I leaned over and I was looking over the bucket. I slipped and I hit the bucket right under my chin, and then I sliced my chin right open, and now I have this scar right underneath my chin from when I was in karate as a kid. So that's the only thing I've got for martial arts. Now, back to the story. So we fly out to Vegas and we go to UFC headquarters because, look, when UFC comes calling, they're one of the most influential organizations on the planet right now, right? What Dana White's done with that organization is just phenomenal. So we go out there and we go into UFC headquarters and we're in awe. It's an amazing headquarters. We walk in and then we sit down in one of their conference rooms. And what's cool about their conference rooms in UFC headquarters is they're all named after epic fighters from the past. There's the Chuck Liddell room. There's the Conor McGregor room. So every conference room in UFC headquarters is named after some legendary UFC fighter. So it's really cool. I don't remember which conference room we were in, but so we go into one of the conference rooms. We sit down, and they start. And I'm very skeptical about this whole thing, anyways, because we're still a growing brand. We're still in many ways a startup. We're coming around. We've been around for 3 years, so we're on the up and up, right? So when you talk about spending a lot of money on brand and awareness, like partnerships with UFC, I just didn't know if we were there yet. So we sit down and they start pitching us and saying, you know what? I actually think you're not just Power Slap material. I think you could be a partner with the UFC. And now I'm even more skeptical because that means even more money. You know, those kind of partnerships. You see Monster, you see Manscaped, right? You see Prime, you see all these big brands on the mat when you're watching a UFC fight. And those guys are, they're 9-figure brands, right? We're not there yet. We will be. We're on our way there. So I was really skeptical, but I was open. So we continued through the presentation, and the more that I got through it, the more I realized, holy crap, like this could work. We could actually make a partnership with the UFC, like be something. So we got through the end of the presentation, and they invited us to go to Power Slap that night. So they were having a big Power Slap event at the Durango Casino, and they basically ran out one of the giant conference rooms, and they put the big stage up there where the slappers get up, right? They've got the podium, and then everybody sits around it. And when you go to a Power Slap event, it's basically the who's who of the internet. They invite, and it's invite only, and they invite all of the major YouTubers, right? Famous comedians, actors, athletes. They're all there, so they know that they're going to get eyes on this. They're going to be streaming. They're going to take videos, and they're going to post that all over the internet. So then they're going to get more and more eyeballs. It's a genius marketing plan. But it's so cool to literally be in the audience around all these people that you recognize on a daily basis. So we go to the event. I'm there with my team, and we're all branded up as we always are. And we were sitting across eye level from where Dana White, Lorenzo Fertitta, Hunter Campbell, and then there was I call it the big dick of the moment seat that sits next to Dana. And next to Dana then is this kind of 5-minute rotating chair where he brings in some major person. So Charles Barkley was there. Charles sits down. Travis Scott was there, and he came in and sat down. And for me, the biggest one of the night was when the next guy walked in. And the next guy happened to be Tom Brady. So Tom Brady walks in. And for me, being a football guy, being a guy who played quarterback, who wanted to be an NFL quarterback. I played college. I played arena football. I idolized Tom Brady and what Tom Brady represented. And I loved Tom Brady's story. I mean, you have to appreciate this Cinderella story that Tom did. So Tom walks in and he sits down next to Dana. And I'm wide-eyed, and I'm thinking, holy crap, I might get to meet Tom Brady too. So Tom sits there for about 5 minutes. And then one of the UFC staff comes over and says, "Oh, okay, Alex, are you ready to meet Dana?" And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm ready to meet Dana White right after Tom Brady. So we get up and we walk down over, and we're waiting to go see Dana. And the event actually ended. I wasn't able to go sit down next to Dana during the event. So the event ends, and then we all go back into the VIP room. And in the back of the VIP room, again, everybody's in there. Dana, his crew, the Nelk boys, Kyle, like everybody is there. And I walk over to Dana. Dana turns around. He's got that big old grin on his face, and he sees me, and he starts yelling, Lorenzo, where's Lorenzo at? And Lorenzo comes over, and Dana goes, Alex, look, so we're sitting there, right? Lorenzo's sitting next to me, and he looks, and he goes, hey, the hostage tape guys are here. And Lorenzo shakes my hand and says, I've been wearing hostage tape now for a few months. It's been life-changing. Hunter Campbell walks over, shakes my hand, says the same thing. And Dana's like, yeah, man, you guys are killing it, seeing you everywhere. Great to have you here. Keep it up, man. And I'm standing there having one of those almost out-of-body experiences thinking, 2 years ago, this didn't exist. This brand didn't exist. And now I'm standing here in front of Dana White, Lorenzo Fertitta, and some of the biggest people on the planet, some of the most influential people on the planet, and they know who we are. It was mind-blowing. And so then we sat there the rest of the night and just kind of soaked it all in and realized where we were and what, this mountain we'd kind of climbed to get to there. And it was really satisfying, right? And so then a few months later, we signed the deal and became the official sleep aid partner of the UFC. So again, guys, we are the largest brand in the world. I am Alex. I am the founder of Hostage Tape. We are also partners with the LA Center for Ear, Nose, and Throat. Now, we get a lot of questions around, wait, is this backed by the medical community? Do doctors support this? Are there any studies for this? And yes, there's plenty of studies out there that where they have taken groups of people and they have tested, do they get better sleep wearing mouth tape or not? And they almost always prove that people do get way better sleep when they're mouth taping. See, so the LA Center for ENT, they're the largest ENT clinic in California, and they're a partner of ours. And so when patients come in, and if they're people who might benefit from mouth taping, then they will recommend hostage tape to them, give them samples. But what's great about that is again, people always ask, and they wonder if it's safe. Are doctors behind it? And so, yeah, we have one of the largest clinics in California that's behind hostage tape, and that's behind mouth taping. And one of the common questions they'll get is it safe? And so what they'll tell their patients is they'll say, okay, lie down flat, close your mouth, and breathe through your nose. If you're able to breathe through your nose and you don't feel the need to open your mouth and gasp, then it's perfectly safe for you to mouth tape because you're sedentary, you're not moving around. And then a lot of people will ask too, but what if I've got a deviated septum? And that's really the thing. Unless you have like an extreme blockage in your nose and you just can't breathe through your nose, then chances are the deviated septum really isn't that big of an issue for you. And another thing that we have, you can see on my nose here, is we have a hostage nose strip. And the nose strip actually helps open up your nostrils. So then if you have a deviated septum, it makes it easier to be able to breathe through the nose. So try this. In fact, my business partner, Ben, before we launched the nose strip, he came to me and he said, Alex, we should do a nose strip because people keep asking about their nose, deviated septums. We should do a nose strip because Breathe Right does a nose strip. And I had always thought, well, it doesn't make sense to me. It just looks like a piece of tape on their nose. Like, how does that actually do anything? And he goes, dude, it's not just a piece of tape. He goes, here, take your fingers, put them in your nostrils, open them up, and breathe. And when I did that, I'd encourage anybody out there to do that. Take your fingers in your nostrils, open them up, and then breathe. That's what a hostage nasal strip does to your nose. And then you realize, whoa, this is what actually breathing through my nose feels like. And as Andy Elliott says, breathe like a new person in seconds when you're wearing a hostage nasal strip. And so what's in the nasal strip that helps, especially if you have a deviated septum, is that there's actually plastic ribs in here. And you can see how it bounces back like that. And so that helps open up the nose, the nasal passageways, to then be able to get more air in. Okay. And when we designed the nasal strip, we said, you know what? Let's make it really easy to add value to our customers around the nose. So when they're ordering hostage tape, and they can just add in some nose strips too to their subscription, or if they're doing a bulk buy, or stay tuned this next week. We're announcing our Black Friday bundles, amazing Black Friday bundles. And some of those bundles are mouth tape and nose strip bundles. Okay. But we made it easy for people to be able to get that. And we made it stronger. So the adhesive stronger, the plastic stronger, and we wanted to make it look badass. Right? Not like you're wearing a Band-Aid on your face. So, all right. Now, because we're the number one mouth tape brand in the world. We're the number one mouth tape on Walmart. We are the number one mouth tape on Amazon, even though, keep in mind, mouth tape's actually banned on Amazon. And because we're the biggest brand, we always get targeted and pulled, but we just keep relisting it. So just keep that in mind. If you're on Amazon and you see any other mouth tape brands, they're not the real thing. They're just copycats. They're not as good. We are the guys. We are the one, right? And we're there, and we just keep relisting it. Even though we keep getting pulled and keep relisting it, we're still the number one mouth tape brand on Amazon. And we are the number one mouth tape brand on Shopify and just down the web. Now here's a list of some really cool people, from really well-known people that use hostage tape. So Joe Rogan, he's a big user of hostage tape. In fact, we've been a sponsor of the pod. And Erling Haaland is probably the best soccer player, if not one of the best soccer players in the world. I'll be completely honest. I didn't know who Erling was because, again, I'm a football player, but half my team is huge soccer guys. And so when they saw this, they were like freaking out of their mind that Erling Haaland was a hostage tape user, because he uses the product, and he posted a story where he was wearing hostage mouth tape, and I got a bunch of texts from a bunch of people who said that he was wearing hostage tape, and then that's how I found out. So and then he put in a big order shortly after that. And then Mark Consuelos. So Mark Consuelos from Live with Kelly and Mark, he's a big time user. He's talked about us numerous times on the show with his wife. Andy Elliott, the number one sales trainer in the world. Troy Aikman, Hall of Fame quarterback. You guys, you hear him every Monday night. He's a Monday night commentator. C-Bum, Chris Bumstead, probably one of the best bodybuilders in the world. But look, here's what I would say. I'm an old schooler. I grew up in the Schwarzenegger era. I would say Arnold Schwarzenegger is probably the greatest of all time, but Chris Bumstead is like right there too. Amazing. C-Bum is a phenomenal talent, and he's a big hostage tape user. In fact, we're going to be doing there's a giveaway that he's going to be doing with his new app that he's got. He's got a fitness app, and he's going to be doing a giveaway where people can win different bundles of hostage tape. Gary Brecka, the Superhuman Protocol. Gary is a huge supporter of hostage tape. He wears it himself, and for a lot of the people that he works with, he does a lot of like concierge work with people to help get them better. Like he did that. He's famous for helping Dana White lose a bunch of weight and get ripped. But for any of his patients that he works with that needs mouth tape, then he'll usually recommend hostage tape to them. In fact, that's how I found out Kyle from the Nelk Boys uses hostage tape, and then that whole Happy Dad team. So I was at a UFC event in Vegas. We were at the Fontainebleau Hotel. The weight room at the Fontainebleau is phenomenal, by the way. So I'm in the Fontainebleau in the weight room, and I'm working out, and I'm always geared up with everything. So when people see me, they know, hey, that's the hostage tape guy. It's pretty hard to miss. So he sees me, and he comes up to me. He's like, hey, you're the hostage tape guy. I said, yeah. He goes, oh, dude, Brecka got me on hostage tape. I wear it every night. Love it. And so then that's how I met Kyle in person, even though I'd always seen him. I'd always seen him at all the Power Slap and UFC events that we were at. Like when I met Dana White for the first time, like he was there in the room. I didn't know him, and I hadn't met him at the time. Additional people are Mark Bell. Mark Bell's a legend when it comes to the powerlifting, weightlifting community. He's also famous for inventing the slingshot, right? That thing, they're these bands that you put on so you can bench better, more effectively. But he was probably one of the first major people that we did a lot of product seeding. We sent a lot of hostage tape out to people, and he responded back and said, man, this is the best mouth tape I've ever used. So then he started handing hostage tape out to all the different guests that would come on his podcast on the Power Project. And then that's how we started getting introduced to all these other high level influencers, these high level athletes then. And then we started to make a name for ourselves. And that's how one of the next guests, or one of the next users, Tom Segura, discovered us. So Tom Segura, funny dude, him and his wife, they do Your Mom's House, that pod. But he's a hostage tape user, and I think Christina wears it sometimes too. Bert Kreischer, the machine, he did a funny story on us, I think last month, of him wearing some hostage tape. Pete Holmes, love Pete Holmes. He's so funny. In fact, he was just here in Minneapolis. He did a show, and he gave me some tickets, so my wife and I were able to see Pete Holmes. And then I was able to meet him for the first time backstage. Just an amazing guy. Amazing guy. He's got a new movie that just came out. It's a Christmas movie. Should be really funny. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I think he was also just on some big talk show talking about the movie. Sebastian Maniscalco. So this guy's hilarious. So he's doing a major tour right now, a major comedian, and he's been wearing hostage tape, and he talked about us on his YouTube channel last month. But he has a bit in his show where he talks about him using hostage tape. And I always knew that someday some comedian was going to put hostage tape in their bit, because how can you not? It's so amazing. But yes, the name itself makes it interesting that he put it into his bit, and he's touring the whole country, and he's talking about hostage tape. And so he's coming here to Minneapolis in February. So I can't wait to go see him and to be able to meet him in person too. So that should be great. Looks like we got some Canadians up in here. So, hey, so stay tuned, you Canadians. We're going to be launching in Sobeys in January. So hostage tape is coming to a Sobeys near you in Canada. All right, so spread the word, my fellow Canadians. So also, I mentioned Kyle from Nelk. Okay, now this was funny. So the biggest reality show on Netflix, Love is Blind, we got mentioned on, I think, episode 5 or 7. I can't remember which one. But I don't watch the show. My wife doesn't watch the show, but a lot of people I know watch Love is Blind. And when it dropped, I started getting all these texts from people saying that hostage tape got mentioned on Love is Blind. And so apparently Garrett, one of the contestants, he was warning the girl. He's like, hey, I do something kind of weird at night. You might think it's weird. I mouth tape. And then he mentions hostage tape. And so that was pretty crazy. And I got to meet Garrett a couple weeks ago. He's gone through quite a glam up, by the way. He looks way different now. He's got long hair and very different than what he did on the show. But that kid's blowing up. Really cool to see. We've got a bunch of athletes that use us. Shout out to Sam Hubbard. So Sam Hubbard, he is the defensive end for the Cincinnati Bengals. And if you go to Sam's page, his Instagram page, he'll always post these pictures of him before his games. Somebody just said they woke up here in Hawaii wearing mouth tape, sleeping way better. I love to hear it, man. Again, I love to hear the amount of people wearing mouth tape and just how much better they feel, how much better sleep they're getting, and just how much it's changing their lives. I love it. So Sam Hubbard, the defensive end for the Cincinnati Bengals, he wears our hostage nose strip during the games, and then he takes eye black, and then he creates a line across his face, and then he always posts that picture. Elliott Army, baby. You know it. Just like Andy says, breathe like a new person in seconds. Andy's in Dubai right now. I think he's still in Dubai. He's rocking and rolling on the other side of the earth. So, and by the way, it was Andy's wife's. It was Jackie's birthday just a few days ago. So if you haven't wished Jackie a happy birthday, go wish Jackie a belated happy birthday. But Sam Hubbard, defensive end for the Bengals, he also then, when he sleeps at night, he's wearing hostage mouth tape at night and getting amazing sleep. So shout out to Sam. If you want to talk about, along with a guy like Andy Elliott, who's a badass, Sam Hubbard's a badass. Like we're talking like a general in the hostage tape army, right? And so we also sent him a huge care package for the whole team. I love it when we find athletes on these teams who use us, and then we'll send a care package, a VIP package, so then the whole locker room can start to use it. So the whole Bengals locker room has hostage tape. So hopefully there's a whole bunch of Bengals getting amazing sleep, getting amazing recovery using hostage tape. And then we just found out there's a 49er, one of the 49ers running backs wears hostage tape and absolutely loves it, getting amazing sleep. So hello, Chile. Beautiful. We need to get you guys some hostage tape down there in Chile so you're getting better sleep. But the 49ers now, so we sent the 49ers a huge care package. So all the 49ers are going to be getting some amazing sleep. They're in Tampa Bay this weekend. So go 49ers. Give it to them Tampa Bay Bucks. But they're all going to be sleeping great, getting amazing recovery here using hostage tape as a team. Go Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, in my opinion, is the next Joe Montana. I grew up when I was a kid. So here's a story about Joe Montana when I was a kid. So Joe Montana was my idol growing up. And when I was probably 11, 12 years old, somewhere around there, I was at a birthday party. And I wasn't into football at this time. I didn't play. My dad wasn't a football player. My dad was a gymnast. And so football really wasn't in my family. And my dad didn't think I was going to be a football player. I wasn't the biggest kid when I was little. And my dad wasn't either. My dad was just the little guy when he was in high school. Most of the growth that he did was when he got into college. So football just didn't seem like it was going to be on my roadmap. So when I was 11, 12 years old, I'm at this birthday party and they gave these packs of Topps football cards to everybody. And I opened my pack up and I'm looking at the cards. I have no idea who these guys are because I wasn't a football fan and I wasn't watching any of it. Hello, Florida. Beautiful. I didn't know any of these football players that I'm looking at until I got to the very last card. I pulled it out and it was Joe Montana. In fact, I have that card still. I need to grab that box so when I tell this story, I can show the card. But it was a Joe Montana card. And all the boys of the party were like, "Oh my God, you just got Joe Montana. He's the best quarterback in the league." And when they said that, something in my head, like this light bulb went off. And I looked at the card of Joe Montana and I thought, wow, I want to be that. And so then I ended up dedicating the next 20 years of my life to be the best quarterback that I could be and try to make it to the NFL. Now, I didn't make it to the NFL. I was close. I was very close. I did play. I was a starter on my high school team. We made it to state multiple years. I then played college football. You can't actually see here, right here. If you're looking at one of my other streams, this was my Minnesota Gopher jersey. If you're on Instagram here, you can't see it. It's just over here. But that was my Minnesota Gopher jersey. I played football for the Gophers here in Minnesota under Glenn Mason. I played on the same team with probably the biggest player on our team was Tyrone Carter. Tyrone Carter was a beast. Man, that guy, he was, I think he won the award for best strong safety in the country. I forget the name of that award, but he won that award, and that dude was a beast. That guy was amazing. He went on and I think he played for the Steelers for a number of years. But then I played there. I didn't play. I was a backup. But then I knew I could still play. I knew I was good enough. I just didn't get a chance. Sometimes you play in certain schools and certain situations where sometimes the luck of the draw is you just don't get the opportunity. And I just didn't really get the opportunity. And so then I went on and I played arena football. Arena football was my opportunity to actually go play. And I started my first year. And then, in fact, the first year I played was for this team right here, with this white jersey here. And if you're on the other stream, it's that one right over there. That was the Tri-City Diesel. And that year I threw 44 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions. And it was amazing. In fact, funny story about that was, so when you play arena football, you're playing on a short field. You're playing basically on an ice rink with turf. And so everybody that goes to the game is right on top of you. They're right on the boards. And so when you're backed up in the... Somebody keeps... I'm not going to let you in the stream, man. Whoever that is. So when you're backed up, right, in the opposite team's red zone, it's really tight. And everybody's, the defensive end, the defensive lineman, all those guys are right on top of you. And so there was a play where I dropped back to pass, I threw it, and the DN took me and pushed me right over the boards, and I fell head first into somebody's lap and had the beer spill all over me. And you couldn't help but just laugh. It didn't hurt. Oddly enough, most people think that some of those hits that you take in arena football are crazy, wild hits, but they're actually not. Because you're so close, there's less momentum that they're getting. They could expand to more countries. The products are great. They've helped me improve my quality, and I suffer from allergic. Beautiful. Love to hear it, man. I love to hear that our products are helping you. We are in other countries, by the way. You can order hostage tape around the world. So we do ship worldwide. We are also recently on Amazon in Europe. So if you're in a European country, you can buy hostage tape on Amazon really, really easily if you don't want to buy it on our homepage. So yeah. So when you get hit, it's not as crazy as you would think in arena football. It's actually pretty fun, pretty enjoyable. So you just kind of laugh. You laugh it off. You kind of wipe the beer off. You get up. You go to play, and then you keep playing. So it was fun. It was wild. Playing arena football was some of the most fun I ever had, because we would play in front of 15, 20,000 people, and everybody's right on top of you. So when I would come over to the coach and I would get the play by the boards, you have all these people who are leaning in, and it's as if they're part of the huddle hearing the play, and I'm getting the play from coach, and I can just see directly in all these people's eyes that are all looking at me going, watch the play. I wonder what they're going to do. So it was fun. It was fun. Like that's where, so this team right here, the Spokane Shock, the white jersey, number 8, that was one of my best seasons, where most people know me from who know arena football. And that was where I met my wife. That was 2006. And I met my wife, which is a huge reason why I started this company. So I met my wife. In fact, so when I met my wife, she wasn't really a football fan. She didn't really know much about football. And so me being the quarterback of the football team, everybody knows who that is, who that guy is, what his role is. And we were at a party after one of the games that she'd come and she'd watched. And we're in the party and we're talking, and she says to me, so how come you only play half of the time? Are you not very good? And it was like there was a record scratch, and the whole party stopped. And they looked at her and they said, honey, he's the quarterback of the football team. And she's like, yeah, I don't know what that means. So you can't help but laugh and just think how sweet that is, that she just didn't know. She just wasn't a football fan. Didn't know. I mean, the good thing is that at least she liked me for me, and she didn't like me just because I was the quarterback on the field, So that was cool. So again, my name is Alex, and I am the founder of Hostage Tape, everybody. So how about let's demonstrate the product? How about we do that? I'm talking about Hostage Tape this whole time, and I haven't even showed it yet. So this is Hostage Tape. In fact, this is the tin. So when you order Hostage Tape for the first time, you may not get the tin. So if you just order a pack of tape like this is a 30 pack, then you don't automatically get a tin. But if you order a bundle from us or you add on a tin, then you're going to get this guy here. This is one of my favorite things. This is how I use it, and most of our nightly diehard users, they get their Hostage Tape delivered in the packs, and then they take it out, and then you can store it in the tin, and then this tin can sit right next to you bedside, and it can also travel with you if you travel quite a bit. It goes in your bag, in your little bathroom pack, that kind of a thing. And then there's enough room there too where you can fit some nasal strips in there, and then you can also put one of our nasal sticks in there as well too if you've got some extra room and maybe you don't use the nose strips. I'll talk about what this is in a second. So the mouth tape here looks like this. It's got a backing on it. All you got to do is you just pull. You pull and pop, and then you can peel off the back. And just make sure that before you put it on, you wash your mouth. Make sure it's dry. Make sure there's no grease on there. And here's what you'll notice. Again, people think Hostage Tape, they kind of think, oh man, is that going to suffocate me? But you look at it, it's stretchy, it's flexible, and you can actually see through it. So it's not going to suffocate you. You can breathe through it if you really needed to. If you felt like you were going to suffocate, you won't. Okay. So it's flexible, it's comfortable, and breathable. All right. And then again, make sure your mouth is dry. You put it on, and then you're going to rub it. Right. In fact, I'll demonstrate that right here. And there we go. Notice how when I put it on, I'm rubbing it. I was rubbing it on just to make sure the glue sets. Because one of the mistakes that we'll see people do is when they put their Hostage Tape on, sometimes they just put it on and then it doesn't maybe stick too well. But put it on and then rub it in, right? Same thing with the nose strip. When you put the nose strip on, put it on, and then you press it, hold it, rub it in, so it lets the glue set and stick. Okay. Now, the other one, again, I mentioned the nose strip earlier, but we've got our Hostage nose strip here. That's what you're seeing on my nose. And again, what that is it's not just a piece of tape. Because some people look at this and they think, wait a minute, is that just tape? How does it even work? But there's actually a plastic ribs in there, and you'll see that it's bouncy, flexible. So it's opening up my nasal passageways so that I can breathe much better in my nose. All right, so somebody's asking, how much is the product? Oh, so if you're interested in the product, just go to hostagetape.com. If you go to hostagetape.com right now, you can see there's a buy two, get one free. So there's a 90-day supply, right? Buy two, get one free for $49. The normal pack of this is $25, $24.95 or $24.99, I think. But if you bundle, the more of these you buy, the less expensive it is. So if you buy the 2, you get 1 free, right? Then the price of this goes down. If you buy 6 months, the price goes down even more, or you can buy a year's supply. In fact, one of the most common things that we see when people buy a month's supply is they'll buy a month's supply, and then after a few days, they're like, whoa, this is amazing. It changed my life. And then they go back to the website and they buy a 6 month supply or a year's supply. Very common. See that all the time. And then because we're encouraging nose breathing, we came out with the nose strips, right? That help people open up the nose. Maybe they feel subconscious about if they've got a deviated septum and they want to make sure they're breathing through their nose. And that's what that's for. Now, the nose strip isn't just great for sleeping, but it's phenomenal for working out. In fact, I always wear this when I go run. Yes. So, all right. So Jesse just asked, are we going to be doing a Black Friday sale? You bet your butt we are. So next week, we're going to be announcing our Black Friday sale. And we've got a couple of different bundles that you'll be able to choose from. Mouth tape bundles, nose strip bundles, or a mouth tape and a nose strip bundle. And they're all going to have some hostage nasal sticks, which is the next product that I'm talking about here. Okay. So hostage nasal stick, we partnered with the Boom Boom guys. And if you've been paying attention on TikTok, these guys have been going viral all over TikTok for these nasal sticks. But their founder, John, huge hostage taper, loves the product. He reached out to me and said, dude, we gotta work together. And so then we came up with the hostage nasal stick. And this just it's got menthol in it. It's got eucalyptus. It's got some spearmint. And then you just breathe it right up your nose and it opens the sinuses and clears you right up. Then this is addicting. This is really addicting. In fact, we were at a show, so we were the title sponsor for this show called Aspire, where they have a bunch of speakers come, like entrepreneur-based type speakers, like David Goggins speaks, and a bunch of other people, just well-known business entrepreneur-like people. And so we're there, we're handing out free samples, and we had a whole box of these nasal sticks. There was probably like 1,000 in this box that we had. And so we pulled some of them out, put them on the table, and I took the box and I put it under the table, but the edge of the box was still sticking out and I didn't think anything of it, and I walked away. And by the time that I came back, the show had ended and everybody had rushed out, and I came back to the table to see that cardboard box was up on the table, flipped upside down, and all 1,000 nasal sticks were gone. I didn't mind. Because look, at the end of the day, we're there to give these things to people, to give them out so that they can experience the product and see how amazing it is and how it can help them. But it just goes to show you how addictive these things are and how much people like these things. So our Black Friday sale is going to include some Boom Boom sticks, some hostage nasal sticks, but there's only a limited amount of these things. So you better go get your Black Friday sale before these are gone, because I'm telling you right now, our Black Friday bundles with the nasal sticks will go fast. They will sell out, and then we've got a second bundle then that we're going to have once these things sell out. And then lastly, I talked about this earlier, but we've got these hostage hold wipes, and we started the hold wipes because a lot of people might have issues with the nose strips sticking to their skin. And so that might just be they've got really greasy skin and they just need to do a good job of cleaning it. Or maybe they just have trouble in general because of the way their skin is, the makeup of it. And so the hold wipes, what they'll do is they help clean the skin. But then there's a film that gets applied to the skin that helps the adhesive stick to your skin better. It's very similar to what doctors and nurses use on patients when they're applying bandages. Okay. So hostage hold wipes, if you feel like you're somebody who needs some additional help with cleaning off the skin, cleaning off your nose, then go ahead and pick up some of these. These are really, really affordable. I think it's like $9 for a pack of 30 of these that you can then just add on. So again, everybody, my name is Alex. I am the founder of Hostage Tape, and we are the largest mouth tape brand in the world. We've got over 100,000 users worldwide. In fact, this is our Shopify award. So every time you hit certain thresholds in Shopify, they give you an award. Just like YouTube, when you hit certain thresholds in YouTube subscribers, they give those plaques out. And this is actually a year old. So back in April of last year, we had passed 100,000 orders. And so we've blown way past this at this point, but we have over 100,000 people using Hostage Tape every night, getting amazing sleep. So Jesse asked, do you know when the Black Friday sale is going to go live? I do. I believe my head of growth, Connor, is going to release it. I think he's dropping it on, I think Friday. Yeah, I think Friday is when we start. But I'm going to warn you, you may not see it because we're releasing Black Friday in stages to our existing user base, our Facebook. We have a private Facebook group, the Hostage Tape Army Facebook group. So we're releasing it every day to certain people until then finally it's going to be visible for everybody. And then you'll see it on the Hero. We will put, once it's live for everybody, which will probably be by Monday, the following Monday-ish at some point, I think, then you will see it on the Hero. When you go to hostagetape.com, you'll see the Black Friday bundles right there that you'll be able to click into. And then you'll be able to pick which bundle that you want. We do have influencer programs, yes. And if you're interested in being some kind of an influencer or affiliate with Hostage Tape, then just DM us on our Instagram page, and then my head of partnerships, Pat, can get back to you and help direct you on how to become an affiliate. So, but again, I think we'll wrap this up here. Again, just reminding everybody, we are the #1 mouth tape brand in the world. We're the #1 mouth tape brand on Walmart. We are the #1 mouth tape brand on Amazon, even though mouth tape's actually banned on Amazon. Okay. And because we're the biggest brand, we keep getting pulled. But then we keep relisting it. So any of those other copycats that you see on Amazon, they're not the real thing. They're not us. All right. So only buy from the best, right? Only buy from us. And if you don't see us, then just go to Walmart or go to hostagetape.com and you can get it there. Okay. But we always keep relisting it on Amazon. And again, we designed this so that it reduces and stops snoring for most people. It's beard friendly for you men out there. It's also skin friendly for you ladies out there. And it's going to give you life-changing sleep. In fact, when you look at our reviews on the webpage, just the amount of people who talk about how it changed their life is just amazing. And it warms my heart to know that we're making such a difference in so many people's lives, and the Hostage Tape Army out there of just helping people get better sleep, be more productive, and also help families. Because that's my history with it. It helped me and helped my family, right? Because when you aren't getting great sleep, your partner, chances are, isn't getting great sleep either. And so they are maybe sleeping in a separate bedroom, and maybe they are resentful because you're loud as hell. You sound like a chainsaw, and they're not getting great sleep. So the resentment builds. I think they call it a sleep divorce. So it's way more common than you think. And it's not okay. We definitely don't want to encourage that. So I'm happy that we're helping so many people out there, hundreds of thousands of people all over the world, get better sleep, have better lives, be more productive, make more money, have better relationships. So with that, don't let bad sleep hold you hostage anymore, folks. Hostage tape out.